Hey guys, welcome to the project. This one is called LIANA. The main feature of this bag is all about the mitered handles and giving a little bit more look, a little bit more detail around the mitered handle. We also learn how to put the zipper on the top. Now this one I'm showing you how to do it with a bias binding, which means no matter what bag pattern you have that you might have bought from elsewhere on the web, you could use, as long as you have a straight top of your bag, you could use this technique and put a zipper on the top. Now you could go back and use this technique on all the tote bags I have shown you. This is super simple, super easy. Let's go ahead and get started with this project. Let's go through what we need to start this project. Here is my main pattern for the bag. I have actually folded on the notch. You have a little notch about 2 inches away from the top, and I folded it and then taken my length because I didn't want this bag to be too long. Okay, this is the main panel. I'm going to keep it aside. This is the base of your handle. I have cut 4 double-sided fusing, which is kind of a medium weight because there's fuses on both the sides, and this gives you the strength as well. So, and you need 4 of the templates and 4 pieces of fabric to cover it, which is slightly larger than the template. So I'm going to keep it aside because we're going to go through step by step when we come to this stage. And I have got a 20-inch open end zipper. You can also use closed end zipper. It would be handy to have an open end zipper. This is a 6-inch closed end zipper that's going inside. That's the top part of the zipper panel. That's the bottom part of the zipper panel. And also I've got an extra pocket, like a U-pocket, which is going to be just a patch pocket. And that is the base of your bag. I'm going to explain it to you when we come to attaching the base. And this is the handle. I've already prepared the handles with this neat finished V ending. Okay, so basically what's going to happen is we're going to make this template, and then we're going to place it on top like so, and then this is going to be attached to the bag, and it's going to look like the leather finished bag. That's the effect I'm looking at. Okay, if you want to learn how to make this V handle with this finish in the front, go ahead and watch the separate video I have placed. So what we need now is we need to prepare the zipper pouch and the other pouch that is going into the lining. I've also got the beige colored bias binding. I've got a black bias binding, and I've got an extra strip of fabric that was left over, which I'm going to place at the bottom of the bag just for decoration. Okay, I'll explain this to you when we come to the stage. Let's go ahead and learn how to make the pockets and attach it to the lining. There are different ways of attaching the zip, and this is one way. My fabric hasn't got the right or wrong side, but if you have a right and wrong side, just follow what I'm doing so that then you should sew on the right side of the fabric. Just center your zip in case if your zip is a little bit longer than your fabric. So basically go and sew an edge stitch from here to here. Let's go ahead and place the zipper like so. I've changed my foot to the zipper foot and go and sew a straight stitch. We have just sewn this stitch. Let's go ahead and put it this way, like so, and go and sew another edge stitch. Okay, starting and finishing with the back stitch, let's sew on the other side of the zipper. Okay, we have sewn the zipper on both the sides. Remember, this is the right side and the seams are visible on the right side. There's a reason behind this because we're going to finish this with binding. So let's just give it a quick iron on both the sides. Flip it over and just give it a quick iron. So the inside of the zipper is also neatly finished. We have pressed the seams flat, so now we need to finish this. So for that, we're going to go and place a bias binding on top like so, and just sew an edge stitch. And after we've done that, we're going to sew an edge stitch on either side. That way, both the sides it's neatly finished. Exactly the same way we're going to do it on the other side as well. Let's place a binding like so. Just cover the stitch ever so slightly, and if you position your foot right, then it should sew on the same line as we've sewn before. So let's go ahead and do that. Gonna lift my presser foot up, pull the puller away. And then I can sew without any hassle. So now I go on the other side. And then sew an edge stitch. We now are going to finish the other side exactly the same way like we did the first one. Here is the 2 bindings we have sewn on either side of the zipper. Before we move on, you can use this as a patch pocket. We're going to bind the edge with the bias binding tape, but I'm going to show you something else. This could be a flap pocket, which is like hanging free, but which will only attach on this side. So for that you need a little extra fabric, which is not in your pattern. So I'm going to take this fabric here, place it up on top like so, and pin it to my pocket. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, that's the right side of the fabric, wrong side of the fabric. It's all going to be binded. You don't have to have matching fabrics, but if you have scraps left over, this is a good way of using it. Let's go ahead and trim a little bit on either side because this is not very straight. So just go ahead and trim this. Also cut the pocket like so. The same way I'm going to trim on this side as well, just to make it a bit more straight in the edge. After putting the binding, it's all become a little bit up and down. So there you go. Leave this, if you have little fabric here, don't worry about it. That's all going to go in and get attached. So now we're going to bind this all around with the bias binding. So take the binding, maybe about 1/2 inch extra than what you need. And what we're going to do, we're going to first sew a stitch on the edge all around so that both the layers of the fabric are kind of intact and it won't move. Place your fabric like so, and let's just go ahead and sew an edge stitch. This is pushing my fabric away, so I'm going to change this into my normal foot and then sew an edge stitch. Okay, we have now got a pocket zipper pouch. We now need to go and attach the binding all around the pocket. Let's take the binding we have cut earlier, and we're going to open the binding like so, place it to the edge and align it. Don't worry about the base fabric because that's not the real pattern. The brown one is the pattern. So just align it like so. And then when you're turning the U-bend, just make sure you ease it a little bit, like so. And then let's just go ahead and sew. You don't need to sew on the folds, sew a little bit away inside on the fold. You'll see later on why we need this. Okay, I'm going to place my binding like so. Align the edge of the binding to the edge of my fabric. And then I'm just going to place my foot and sew away from the fold. And I'm about 1/8 inch away from the fold. Let me also pull my zipper puller away, and see, I'm easing the fabric. I'm not pulling my bias binding, I'm just easing it out, so it should go as easy as possible. Okay, this is how it looks when you lay it on the table. Now open it and see there's no wrinkles. There shouldn't be any wrinkles when you ease it out, otherwise it's not going to give you a neat finish that we're looking for. Okay, so let's put the binding back the way it was before, and just go and trim little bit, not too much, probably about 1/8 inch of the allowance along
with the binding, because when it's going to be bound and we're going to put a top stitch, it's all going to look very neat. Okay, you can see along with the binding I have trimmed the edges, and that's a very, very, very thin strip, so that's come off the binding. So you can see there's a very tiny bit of allowance there. So now we're going to turn it over like so, and when you fold and kind of feel the binding, so this edge should match the edge at the bottom, and this can only be done by hand and you only can feel it, and go ahead and place it like so, and we're going to iron it flat so it kind of sits in place, and we can go and sew a top stitch. Okay, we'll start from one side like so, and then ease your bias binding while making sure that it kind of has the same edging all around, so the fold needs to be neat like this. So there you have it. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go and sew an edge stitch on top of this edge, inner edge. I have changed my foot to the blind hem foot, and let's just go ahead and place it like so, and adjust your the end attachment so that it kind of aligning with the edge of the binding, and the stitch line is going to be perfect. So that is something that you need to do on your machine, and let's just go ahead and sew a top stitch. Always keep your eye on this attachment, not on the needle, on here, and guide it through so it's kind of edging the edge of the binding. We have neatly sewn the binding in. Now just give it a quick iron and your pocket is now ready to go. So what's going to happen is this edge is going to go and attach underneath the bias binding or underneath the zipper tape, wherever this is going to go. Okay, this is the other patch pocket, and let's see how to finish this. Fold the top of your pocket about 1 inch like so, and give it an iron crease. Now take a piece of bias binding, and we're going to place it on top like so, leave a little bit of edge on the top, and then go and sew on either side, so this is is like a border, and then we're going to finish the edge with the binding like we did with the other pocket. We're going to use the same foot like we did before, and let's just go ahead and sew an edge stitch. Turn on the other side and just go ahead and sew another stitch. Okay, we have just sewn the pocket, and what we need now is to cut the binding. I have cut the binding so that I have about 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch extra when we start and finish. So go ahead and cut your binding, and after you've done that, we're going to open the binding like so, and leave about 1/2 inch there, and place it like that, edge to edge, and then fold the top of your binding like so, so that it overlaps the pocket. And now somewhere in between the edge and the fold, we go and sew a straight stitch, and again when you're coming to the bend, just ease the fabric through, don't pull it, just ease the fabric through. Change my foot to normal foot again, so I'm just going to place it like so, and sew a straight stitch. When we're coming to the end, we're going to fold it back in like we did in the beginning, like so, and finish with the back stitch. We have attached the binding. Let's just go ahead and trim only like 1/8 inch away all around. Okay, now we have trimmed the edge a little bit. We're going to go and fold it like so, and then give it a quick iron by folding it to half so it's easy to sew. If you're a beginner and you're struggling with this process, then I would probably advise you to just go and tag with a tacking stitch or a basting stitch. so it kind of stays in place till you sew, and after you sew then you can always remove that. But it's sitting fine with me on just with the iron, so I don't need to baste it. Okay, I've changed the foot to the blind hem foot. For an edge finish like this, I normally start about 1/2 centimeter away, and then what I do, just go back and backstitch so the end is finished properly. Okay, here is my lining panel, and this is the pocket we have just sewn. I have placed the pocket 4 inches from the edge of the fabric till here, and I have also centered my pocket. And just make sure that you fold your panels into half and make a notch mark, and make a notch mark here. This is not in the pattern because it's on the fold. People do end up making mistakes, that's why it's not given. So please make these notch marks. Just fold it into half and make the notch mark. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and patch the pocket. So let me go ahead and pin it on one layer like so, and go ahead and patch the pocket. We're still using the blind hem foot, and we just go and edge it like so. So the edge of the attachment is at the edge of my binding, and I'm starting about 1 centimeter away, and then I go back and backstitch like so. Just feed your pocket in an angle like that. And then finish it. We need to attach the zipper pouch to the other side of the lining. Before we do that, we need to make some markings and also prepare the zip panel, because this patch pocket is going to hide underneath the zipper like so. It will only be seen when you open the zipper like that. So before we do that, we need to make some markings and also use some bias binding tape to attach the zip. So before we do that, you can see I have folded the zip on one side like so, because we need the beginning of a zip to be like a straight line. So let me just go ahead and fold the other side and show you how to tack it on the machine. You don't need to hand tack this. This could be tacked on the machine. Just fold the edge like so and place it underneath your presser foot. If you can see, that's how it's been tacked, and that just gives us the straight line that we are after. We have sewn the edge of the zipper. Now we need to go and attach it. Before we attach it, you need 2 bias bindings, 1 for each side. So we need 1 here. For this pattern, you need a 17-inch long bias binding. Basically fold it into half like so, and then just make a crease mark, and then open your bias binding like so. Place the crease mark onto your notch mark in the center and place a pin. Just open it up like so and let it be there. Okay?
Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the project. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you think. I shall see you next time. Bye bye for now.